Greetings from the Erie Coast. This is Mad Shad. What are we going to talk about today? Something that I'm starting to see come back. I grew up in the 80s. During the 80s, there was the Cold War. The imminent threat of nuclear annihilation, mutual destruction is what they called it, was an ever-present thing in society. Even with Reagan coming through and doing what he did. Me being a rebellious kid, I didn't really care. Now, hindsight being 2020, I see that Reagan was pretty badass. But in the 80s, I had a skateboard, I had a mohawk, I had this oh well, we're all going to die thing, as did everybody else that was around. So we just said, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna do this punk rock thing, and we're gonna be, when it all comes crashing down, who cares, right? We did our thing. We punked out. We rocked that shit, and you can see that from the influence in the music, in the fashion, the punk culture. Hardcore came about. It was this idea that we had to get ready for, a dystopian nightmare that it was to be mutual annihilation. So it was kind of weird. It shaped us and molded us. And what are we seeing now? We're seeing the exact same thing. Probably not so much with the mohawks, and because now punk is mainstream. I mean, case in point, Green Day. Hell, they're old now. But everybody's a punk rocker, But we, as those that are older and went through that whole, punk rock phase, it was something else, there was always this threat of death, that this is all going to come crashing down on top of our heads, literally. And so, maybe that's what's going on now. Maybe this new, it's the same thing happened in the 80s. You had two different kinds of people. You had your punk rockers, and then you had your preps, your preppies, and they wore the polo and all that. And I'm sorry, there's a lot of running around going on here. It's crazy. I live on the ass end, so of the complex here. Everybody just runs in and out, in and out, in and out. Just all hours of the night. And my dog Charity is always on alert. But, in the 80s, we didn't die. There were no bombs dropped on us. The Russians didn't invade. No, I'm sorry. The USSR didn't invade. It was something quite entirely different. Yeah, we know that this whole new world order thing is working on us. That's their plan. But now we have this whole woke sustainability kind of society, way of thinking. I see it we see it in the mainstream TV media. You know, all the big wigs. They influence and they subvert our way of thinking. Our That's what they're doing. And so, yeah, we're always going to be a little rebellious. Get your social justice warriors, and you know, everybody's trying to be woke. Just like that with the punks and the skinheads. You know, they were always fighting. I mean, to be a punk, there was no color. I mean, you know, Raz, you out there, bro? This guy, he was a rich black kid, but he embraced the whole punk thing and went for it. You know, I knew him in school, in junior high. You know, but I mean, it didn't know race. There was no real race to it. There was no. It was this idea that, well, it's going to be a wasteland, so you know, let's prep for it, and just be fucking punks, you know, wanderers of the wasteland, in their leather jackets and squatting where we can and all this and that. I mean, but living very nomadic, partying very nomadic. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. This whole idea, this whole lifestyle. And now look what it's been mainstreamed. It's been mainstreamed to the point where everybody's got a leather jacket with studs on it. Everybody's got a freaking tattoo, neck tattoo, face tattoo. I mean, not that a lot of punks could do that. A lot of punks could because they were rich, which was interesting. You know, I was from the ghetto. I was from the hood. So, I mean, you know. So yeah, I rocked out with some Run DMC and some Salt and Pepper and, you know, the Rappin' Duke, Daw Daw, yeah. And then, you know, I also went down with the Minor Threat and Black Flag and, I mean, all those Suicidal Tendencies, Dead Kennedys. And it was a very dystopian political kind of vibe. We're seeing it now. We're seeing it now. It's always going to be there, and because it's such an interesting muse, if you will, for creativity. You know, so you can regurgitate the narrative over and over again, you know, in different ways. But I don't know. War is looming in the horizon. Will it come to fruition? You know, hey, I mean, it's a possibility. It's a strong possibility. The way the world works is it is the survival of the fittest. It always has been. It's always been that way. So when yours truly, the United States of America, starts to dwindle in its power and its influence and its strength, then other countries who might be trying to overcompensate for something. I'm not trying to say that, you know, well, we all know. Hey, I'm huge in China, okay? But Russians, I mean, you know, whatever. But you get my point. Iranians, these guys. They want world domination. They see a way to get it. They've they've had a pretty rough history, and they think they can advantage things to pull things out to their advantage. So yeah, they're gonna try. Um, how does that play into the new world order though? Into the order? Uh, Destabilization, war, death. They got to cut down that population somehow. So, you know, remember, they want a billion, what, they want close to a billion sustainable life forms on this planet. Easier to control. So, yeah. I mean, I could see that. I could see that. But there's always it's kind of like a flirting with the disaster kind of thing. They really don't want to go all the way. It's like, nah, we don't want to really go full tilt bozo, but we want to test the waters. So I think that's what's kind of going on here with this whole, just my thoughts, just my observations. Just from my observations of experience as a old punk rocker, skateboarding punk rocker back in the day. I mean, it kind of nature history repeats itself. It does, especially in the whole social cultural thing. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how I mean, come on. Who would have thought that bell bottoms would have came back? Here we are. Fanny packs. Who's got a fanny pack? Raise your hand. Right. I really don't have a fanny pack, but I've been thinking about it. Actually, I do have a fanny pack. I use it for airsoft. I know, not very tactical, but kind of is. You get my point. Things have a tendency to repeat themselves. Trends and things of that nature. So, beards never go out of style. Beards are just epic. They stand the test of time. Absolutely. Ask Moses. But yeah, is there a cause for alarm? Absolutely. I just kind of feel like I'm peeking through the veil a little bit. Damn, my hands look big. Not really that big, is it? Yeah. Anyway, I'm tired. Big day tomorrow. Big day tomorrow. Doing a big job, filling a container, like a shipping container. And there's a certain way you got to do it. You got to do it in 2 hours. And it's 800 something 5-gallon pails, each one weighing about 50 pounds. Got to stack it to the rafters and stack it deep. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun day. But anyway, that's just whatever. I digress. But just something to think about. Something to reflect back on. Like, you know what? We've been here before with this whole crap. There's been SJWs forever. Just now they're all mainstream media. Now it's cool. But with that culture comes a counterculture. It always does. There's always some kind of counter. There's always got to be a balance. So maybe that's what we are. Patriots. Maybe that's it. That's always a standard. I mean, I think for as long as this country's 245 years in existence, and most countries actually, there is a national pride that comes with being from your country. I mean, we see it with most countries. We see it here. they come here and they fly their flags, their Filipino flags, their Puerto Rican flags, or whatever, Rio de Janeiro, especially when soccer comes around, or football, or whatever whatever the sport. I mean, that's when the pride comes out, national pride. So a lot of countries have that too, not just us. We're pretty young in the world, 245 years old. These other countries have been around for thousands of years as a country. you know, as a civilized nation, they've been around for thousands of years. So it's just something to think about there. But we are the total sum of the world, of all the cultures and people. We're the melting pot. So I forget what they call it, endogenous population. Like say you go to China, everybody there's Chinese. Very rarely will you see anyone that's not Chinese. So if I was to walk down, Chinatown, in China, I would stick out like a sore thumb. They'd be like, "Oh, who this white? Who this round eye?" I mean, for real. Anybody that goes to China that is not Chinese is going to stick out like a sore thumb. That's just the way it is, And with that, I think there is an intolerance, definite intolerance. I've felt it in other countries. When I went Greece, yeah, Greece. Go to Greece, great place, love it, beautiful, touristy. It's like the that's where Europe does their spring break. Okay, in Greece, Corfu, Rhodes, all those places. That's the Myrtle Beach. That's the Myrtle Beach of Europe, or Orlando of Europe. So but if you get off the beaten path and go in town, where all the Greeks are, you probably ain't gonna get nothing. You're gonna get stares and mugs. That's it. They'll shun your ass. I mean, that's just what I know too. I'm sure I've heard other stories of people going to Jamaica and getting out of the reservation, getting off the resort and going into town, and people are just fucking rude to them. It's like, wow, really? But it's most places, man. Most places. All depends. All depends. But this acceptance that's going on with this whole woke new world, the order, all this. I mean, we see it. It's subversion. We are being subverted from our American way of thinking. They know they have to change our way of thinking. That's it. And once they do that, they got us. They can do what they want. Had somebody send me an email concerning the, and then I've heard about it from others as well, is the whole vaccine passport. Ooh, the passport. Yeah, I mean, big tech, man, big tech. And basically, the vaccine passport is the is boom, and it's the credit, it's the social credit score. It's what they describe. It's the same thing as the as the Chinese social credit score. So if you don't know what that is, it's not good. It's not good. No more free speech. Total power and control over everything you think, do, and say. I mean, China is straight up 1984, George Orwell. It is. You know, on steroids. You don't buy a TV to watch it. You buy it so the TV watches you. And everybody's got their phone. You know, everything's tracked. Everything. And that's the thing, is they have the technology now. They have the technology. And there's some crazy, crazy things coming up too. Innovations and things that are popping up. I mean, technology is exploding. But like I talked about, there's always a counter, right? So 4chan, you know, all those crazy hackers out there, you know, the criminal element. When is it going to be criminal to be free? To think and do and say what you want, you know? Probably soon, right? But yeah. Yeah, so it might be wise to take advantage of some tech that we can get a grasp on, you know, and get our mind around it, you know. Yes, and I know I'm talking to you on YouTube. That is controlled by Google, and so I'm sure the algorithms are going ding 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 ding, you know. Soon the whole idea of black helicopters, you know, silent black helicopters with little hut hut guys, you know, fast roping down, rappelling down, going hut 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 hut, you know, grabbing you in the middle of the night, putting a black hoodie over your head and taking you off to some kind of re-education camp. Yeah, that's going on in China. For real. That's what's up. It happened in Russia too. It's still kind of happening. USSR. You know, they do a little bit of that in Russia, but Russia's just they're kind of crazy. uh, they still got AKs over there. People still got guns, even if they're not supposed to. So what does that tell you? Yeah, Bruska, Bruska AK. Yeah, but that's what's up. I was just thinking about it, you know. That's all I was sitting here after work, just chilling. Made me some awesome beans and rice for the whole week for work, and I'm just kind of recuperating over that. But just something to think about, you know. It's little trends, even in the face of the massive face of adversity and the threat. There's always hope. There's always a counter. There's always a way to see through the veil, see past all the bullshit, and go, okay, maybe there is hope. So I'm gonna end it here. It's about 9 o'clock. I'm gonna get to bed. Yeah, I go to bed early now, and I wake up early. Early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Is that how it works? Yeah. Hey, maybe it'll work. But so yeah, this is Mad Shad and Charity. She likes rice, and I've given her a lot of rice. I'm kind of wondering if she's gonna make it. What I mean, like, is she gonna wake me up in the middle of the night, going, "Hey, I gotta poop"? But she's all tired now. Got her eyes closed, even while I'm talking. So that's usually a good sign that she's gonna go to sleep, which means I need to go to sleep too. Yeah. So this is Mad Shad and Charity, encouraging you all to look beyond the veil. Just open it up and peek through. Be surprised at what you see. You know? Look behind the veil. look behind the curtain. Continue to prep, continue to train, because it's a mad, mad world out there.